Hey friends, it's Emily here at the Hopscotch Interactive channel, and I'm here today to share with you a little bit of insight about a way that I was able to add over $1,000 of income recently doing something a little bit new and that I was a little apprehensive about in the beginning, but now I get it and I've done it a bunch of times and I want to share with you my experience. Now, everybody comes to YouTube because they want to learn about ways that they can make more money or different money or passive income or perhaps even just to learn. So that's what I want to do today is to share with you what I do in a new way that I have been able to sort of find new revenue streams this year. So, and that is with a platform called ShareGrid, which is a peer-to-peer platform slash marketplace for looking for perhaps a gig and sharing that you have services or that you're available to hire, or if you have gear, you can either rent it or sell it on ShareGrid. Now, maybe this is the sign that you're looking for, that all of that expensive, amazing equipment that you have laying around might be monetized not only by you going out and making films or taking photos, but also by you monetizing it as a rental. And so, look, you're going to experiment with a whole bunch of weird and interesting ways of making money. AI is huge right now, and who knows who's monetizing that best. There's NFTs, there's things like giving talks and doing YouTube and all these things that you know that I do. Here's another one that I want to share with you, because I think that at the end of the day, it's all about how can you bring in a little bit more money and not have to work that much harder for those extra dollars. So here's what I want to talk to you guys about today. I started doing ShareGrid. I signed up for it last year, late, like in the summer, but I didn't put any of my equipment on there. And I finally put, just as a test, a couple of cameras on in the fall last year, and I was actually surprised because it took almost no time and I did have my first rental. Flash forward, I have been expanding my profile. I've added a bunch of listings. You can see that I've sort of been adding and building this out. And in the beginning, look, it says member July 2023. I hadn't really gotten a lot from it. But then the other thing that I learned was that I could sort of send a list of my inventory, some of the things in my inventory that I wanted to rent out. And then ShareGrid actually, they entered that all for me. So they sent me an Excel spreadsheet. I was really nervous about, I'm not nervous, but I just didn't want to spend all my time inputting stuff. And so they sent me a list to fill out. I wrote them my stuff and then they posted the listings. I had to go in and fine tune it later, and I learned later why that was a good idea. But in the beginning, that helped get me going, and it really cut down the time, and also me being afraid of, like, oh, this is going to be such a huge chore. So now here you can see, like, I've got like all of these cameras listed there. I think I have over 30 listings. Some of them are packages, some of them are individual things. You can have both. You can have custom packages for people if they need something extra and they send you a message about that. And also, look, like, I want to also point out that I've been renting mostly Matterport cameras and Canon gear because that's what I have mostly in my inventory. But I wanted to share with you the top earning products of the last couple years. So just in case any of this is laying around in your studio or your apartment and you want to make a little extra money on it, look at this, like the Sony full frame cinema cameras, the Alpha A7S III mirrorless digital camera, which is a great small cinema camera. And then all the way down the line, Dana Dolly, Arri Alexa mini camera package, and then aperture lighting is huge. And it's sort of been like that. Oh, I kind of have it out of order. 2021, 2022, 2022. So we'll go to 2022 and we'll go back to 2021. So look here, Red Komodo, of course, people want to try the gear out, but I mean, look at the average rental prices. Let's just look here and you can see, I don't know if that'll make it a little bit bigger, but $598 for that camera package. So people are monetizing their stuff. Look, $656, the number 3 listing. So all of that cinema gear is actually, I think, the majority of the people that are renting, but that's not to say that you can't earn money on your specialty gear. So let's take a look at how it broke down for me. In November of last year, I made one rental. It wasn't a lot. I also want to point out that ShareGrid takes about 15% with fees, and that's their marketplace cut. So this rental price, it was actually $100 I listed my camera for, and I made $85 off of it. And like I said, you know, you have to take the camera to meet somebody. I've got a good system now. It's super easy. And, you know, as long as you pick a place that has parking and people can get to, no problem. Like, so simple, and it's a breeze. Now, here's the interesting part. I didn't have any rent. Well, that was when I had just a few listings. And then earlier this year, I decided to put just a bunch of stuff up. It was like, hey, look, some of this gear is sitting around and it's not being used, so let's get it out there. And that is when, and as you can see, like in March and in April, and so already in just the last couple months, I have made another $919, right? So that's nothing to sneeze at. Like that's great. Like that's a little bit of extra money, and I'm really happy about it. So, you know, add it up, and that's $1,004 from gear that is sitting around, you guys. That's a brand new Ricoh Theta Z1. That's, you know, whatever, season pass to Tahoe. That's a lot of things that you can do with $1,000 extra that you didn't have to work that hard for. And so it's cool that, you know, ShareGrid has the marketplace so that they can connect you with people who want to rent your gear. And if you're a professional, your gear is going to be in good shape. And also, like, we're going to talk about the pros and cons. So let's talk about the cons first. So the money is unpredictable. You're not going to be a millionaire renting this stuff out. But look, this is easy money that you find coming in that just, you're like, oh, cool, here's another $400 this week, and I don't have to do that much to recoup that money on this thing I've already invested in, which I love. The fees, it's 15%, so you know that it's going to be a percentage of whatever you take in, and that if you're renting a low priced item, like say you're renting like this Rode mic, like this thing I have on here, I rent it out for like $29 to the renter, so I take home $23. Do I really want to drive down and meet somebody for $23? Probably not. But if, you know, it is just like one of many other listings that you're going to be earning money off of, hey, maybe you want to do that, and your time may be something that you are flexible with, so go for it. I would say people flake. So I have had a few people who like checked into what I was doing, and they were like, oh, you're not in a convenient location, so I'm going to bail, or I'm not going to do it. Or there was one person who was supposed to meet me, and then they didn't show up, but they extended the rentals, so it was fine. So look, like I said, low value items, renting them by themselves, maybe not so great, but if you bundle them, you know, it'll really help you be able to earn more on those rentals. And then I would say like the other con, and this is feedback for ShareGrid, which is that your site is a little kludgy. The UI, the user interface, could be a little bit better. There's a couple of things like checking out gear and checking in gear where it would be great if it was easier to find those checklists, and if it was just a little bit more organized and a little bit more intuitive. I feel like it's sort of like version 1 of this software, or maybe version 1.2, but we need to get to 2.0, and that would make things a lot better. Okay, but the pros, and I've already mentioned a lot of them. It's passive, it's pretty easy, and you also meet other professionals in the area. So I have already met now people that I would totally hire to work for me if I needed somebody who I knew was competent using some of this gear. And we always need contractors. We always need additional people. It's insured, it's super low risk. Everyone seems professional so far, and it's local. So I love that because it's helping the local creator economy. So is it just raining money on you? I would say not in the beginning, but once you get started, I do think that, like I said, I just crossed the $1,000 mark. It's passive income to an extent, and I think it is really cool. So if you like this video, maybe share it with somebody who you know has a lot of gear, or even some really cool gear sitting around. I wouldn't use your antique thing that can't be replaced. I would probably only rent out stuff that can easily be replaced at B&H, or maybe at Adorama. commonly used items. Again, check those lists of things that are popular from the last couple years, like, share, and subscribe, so that when I share other fun ways to either make money or some tips from the field, you'll get them. And thank you so much for watching and listening. Hey, motivation, you're doing great. And thank you so much. Have a great day.